Hi guys, Will here from WB Trading and welcome back. If you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the free content that I share with the trading community here on YouTube. So we're back on the S&P. In fact, I think this is actually the first time I've recorded my screen whilst trading the S&P, but we're looking at a session momentum strategy setup here in front of us. Just waiting for this to confirm. And for those of you thinking, what the hell is the session momentum strategy? I've never heard you talk about that one before. It used to be called the pound dollar strategy, but we decided to rename it because people just weren't understanding that they could actually use the strategy across loads of different markets. It certainly isn't limited to pound dollar only. And in fact, some of the best results I've seen traders actually achieve using the strategy this year has been by applying the strategy to the DAX, to Euro Pound, to FTSE, S&P, which you're about to see me actually use the strategy on, and so on and so forth. So it's a really versatile setup to have within the toolkit, especially for how simple and easy it is to actually trade. Honestly, a child could follow the strategy rules and make money. A 100-year-old person could follow the strategy rules and make money. No offense, of course, to anybody who's 100 years old, of course. Anyway, so it's looking like we're getting our entry trigger here. So I'm just waiting for the strategy rule that actually tells us to get short to confirm when this candle closes. Yeah, okay, so that's the rule met. Perfect, let me get this in. Right, there we go. So that's us short now that the entry trigger has actually told us to get short. And that's us done and dusted. So trade taken, stop loss and target placed. And that's that. Believe it or not, it's that simple. So when the setup forms, the rules tell us exactly where to get in, where to place a stop loss and a target. And after that, when we've actually executed, we're done. Now, as always, we do never know whether a trade will be a win or a loss. Of course, that's trading. But what we do know is that we have an edge over the market here due to, in the case of this market, me aiming to make 2R or 2 times my risk, whilst only ever obviously risking -1R or just 1 times the risk that I've actually placed on the trade. So when we're right, that means we win double, and when we're wrong, we lose single, if that makes sense. And for those of you who are new to risk reward or understanding R, there's a couple of other videos here on the channel that'll help you to understand both that you can watch next after this video as a helping hand. So again, that's it. We're done with this market for today. And I say this all the time, but trading mechanically, trading using rules, it is a boring way to trade, it really is, because we don't do any of the fancy analysis. We don't draw lines everywhere. We don't mark support and resistance and so on and so forth. We don't use any fancy indicators. Bottom line, we don't make any guesses or predictions. We just wait for the rules to be met. We wait for the strategy to tell us where and when to get in. We take the trade just like you've just seen me do, and we just go away. We leave the trade alone, and we basically go and get on with something else, completely hands off. And obviously that also means we don't have to worry about what actually happens next. We know that we have edge, so we just continually execute long term, trade after trade. The edge does the rest. The hard part really is, well, it's 2 things. So one is executing consistently long term and actually allowing edge to play out, and 2 is leaving the trades alone, so not exiting early, not jumping in late, not skipping trades that then turn out to be wins, and so on and so forth. But if you can do that through the good times and through the bad times, the results do just come. And in fact, if I just share a couple of recent bits of feedback that I've had from a few of the traders who are also using the strategy. If we take our client Trousty from over in Switzerland, he says it himself. He used all of June to paper trade the strategy to get a feel for how it works. He then went live a couple of weeks ago now. I think this was actually about 3 weeks ago now. And he says that after a long journey, he feels like he's finally found the right way to trade. And not only that, he's already brought in, 1,037 euros and 36 cents in profit. And if we just take the trade record that we see here that he actually sent over, he's taken 16 trades, he's had 2 losses, 14 wins for a current win rate of 87.5%, which is really, really solid. Now, that win rate will of course change depending on the markets that he trades, the targets that he aims for, and so on, but it's a really solid start, that's for sure. What else do we have? Mikhail here, and this guy just recently passed the FTMO test too, which was great to hear. And he says the strategy is very simple to follow, very profitable, and it's a great concept because there's no complex indicators or anything similar, and therefore it's just easy to implement the strategy even with a full-time job. And we get feedback like this regularly. I've actually got an entire folder of feedback that I try and stay on top of. But anyway, I won't bore you with any more of it. Let's come back to the market. And just a quick side note for those of you who actually have the strategy already. If you haven't already seen it, nip into the course and just give the applying the setup to other markets video a watch that I added a few weeks ago, because it'll help you to understand all of the areas that you can actually apply the rules to, including of course the S&P. And I've also added some data into the course as well on that subject. Anyway, I'm going to leave this alone for now. I'll leave the screen recorder running so that you can actually watch the trade play out in real time. And as soon as we either get stopped out or we hit target, I'll come back, I'll bring my deal ticket on screen for you all, and we'll take a look at what's happened. Back soon. Right, just back, and that's us at target. That was faster than expected, actually, I have to say, and that's, what was it? £521.61 in, I think it was about roughly 30 minutes or 40 minutes or so, wasn't it? So not a bad start to the afternoon by any means. See, just imagine that. Imagine following a set of rules, pressing a button and making £521 in the better part of half an hour. That's what's possible when you trade with Edge. And it's not just possible, it's simple, it's easy. Again, the only hard part is taking the trades consistently across the months and across the years. But if you can do that, again, the results just come. As you've just seen here, live in real time. You follow the rules, you take the trades, Edge does the rest. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed taking another look inside the session momentum strategy with me here today. That's me done for the day. Today I've got a cleaner going round to give the apartment a good clean in about 20 minutes. So yeah, time for me to get out for the afternoon run, get some exercise in whilst the cleaning is getting done. Anyway, hopefully the video has added value for you. Hopefully it's triggered some inspiration. I'll leave it there for today. And as always, trade with Edge, with consistency. And I look forward to having you back here on the channel soon. Thanks, guys.